Hello everyone, this is a game of Sudden Strike playing on the laptop using Windows XP, and Sudden Strike is the best way I can describe it. It's a mix of Lemmings and Call of Duty. You'll see what I mean as we go along. Basically, I'm going to be playing a scenario where I have to capture a pair of German officers, and I have played this scenario over and over and over and just cannot beat it. So I'm learning from my mistakes. I'm going to try a slightly different strategy and see how we get on today. So there's the description of the mission. Capture 2 vehicles with officers. These are located in the east. We want the officers alive. Now, in many ways, I mean, this is a brilliant game. Fantastic graphics. There are the 2 officers in their cars down there, and this is my force. Very kind of disorganized. Basically, as I say, it's like Lemmings in that you have so many kind of different individual figures and models, and they all have their own attributes and behave in different ways, but unless you kind of keep a constant eye on what's going on, they rapidly get themselves killed. They do behave intelligently, they can shoot at the enemy. But what I've learned with this scenario, the first thing that happens is I'm just going to get bombarded by wave after wave of German attacks trying to drive me off the table. So I'm going to set up a series of defences, which I haven't done in the past. So I'm getting these utility vehicles to construct some dragon's teeth where the tank attacks are most likely to appear, and the little riflemen there are laying mines across the area as well. So hopefully that will slow down the progress of the German advance, because I have played some scenarios where they just storm in and all my vehicles and infantry and artillery is just destroyed right from the outset. So we just watch those. These utility vehicles that I'm clicking on now, they are really important in the game. Probably the most unrealistic aspect of the game in many ways, because they have a constant supply of ammunition. They never have to go back to an ammo dump to collect it. So, and they can also build bridges and defences and that kind of thing. Currently what I'm doing is selecting all the different types of artillery that I have and collecting them into groups which I can give assign a keyboard number to, so that I don't have to hover over them with my mouse in order to give them orders. I can just type the relevant number into the keyboard, and that means that I don't have to have them actually in my view in order to control them. And I'm now just bringing up all my tanks and armoured vehicles and so on, getting them into more of a defensive line. And all the time I'm aware that the Germans are going to, the attack is imminent, so I don't want those utility vehicles out in front for too long, because they're just going to get destroyed, and they are crucial to success in the game. Great graphics in this game. Again, some of it unrealistic. Some of the armoured vehicles obey commands in German and so on. So they've got that screwed up. But lots of lovely little animations and things. If you leave the troops idle for too long, they take leaks up against trees, and you'll see later on the scenario, the scenery is all interactive, so they take battle damage and shell damage and so on. Whole place gets littered with craters and shell holes. Just get as many dragon's teeth down as I possibly can, and then as soon as the attack begins, I'll draw those utility vehicles back into the behind the front line there, so that they're a bit safer.
One moment, sir.
But the Germans are they seem to have far more abilities. I don't know whether that's just the nature of the way
Any orders?
the game kind of hides things from you, but they often the whole landscape is littered with German troops and hidden guns and so on, and they see you long before you see them. So it's very easily to get killed and vehicles to get destroyed, and you don't even see where the enemy fire has come from. Before you know it, you're done for, and it's while you're busy trying to concentrate on something else. So you have to keep an eye on that, the overall map down in the bottom left-hand corner there. That sometimes gives you a clue, but you can see the only area that's lit up is the area where I have troops, so anything can be going on in the rest of the table, and you just can't tell until it hits you.
Any orders?
Right, some gunfire now. So here they come, the Germans are appearing. There you go, I lost one vehicle before I could do anything about it, so I'm just trying to drag all those vehicles back. Germans are approaching in so sort of motorised infantry or motorcycles, and you'll notice some of them went over the minefield and were destroyed, so that worked. And I'm now firing my rockets into that area in the hope that catch something as it advances, and just waiting nervously now to see where the next Germans are going to appear from. In this brief lull, I've decided these figures are all snipers, so I'm going to move them forward into the trees in front of my defensive position, and that will give me a little bit of a reach on my line of sight and so on. So I'm going to get them to take cover in the little bits of woods and things. They might be able to pick off the odd German infantryman as he comes across. Turning the tanks to point in a more appropriate direction. Just basically getting things tidy, as prepared as possible. Trying to spread the vehicles out so they're not such an inviting target. The Germans have got some really heavy artillery. That one shell in an area like that could destroy everything within, neighbourhood of the shell landing, and wipe out all my rocket launchers, for instance, in one fell swoop. I'm keeping those utility vehicles close to the artillery now because it's important to keep them supplied with ammunition, otherwise they just run out of ammo and cease firing at the wrong time.
Any orders? preparing. Hurry up.
As I say, the first obstacle to overcome is this sort of immense German attack that comes in, so you can't even begin to think about moving across the table until you're feeling a little bit more secure and safe. So you can order these guys to actually take cover, because even though you can't see them, it doesn't mean to say that they're not out in the open on the other side of those trees. So you often kind of like lose sight of your own command because they're behind buildings or trees, and you have to be aware of that. Right, so this is the town in the centre of the map, and I know for sure from previous experience that it's very heavily defended and there's lots of Germans in there. So I'm just laying down a rocket barrage just while there's nothing going on, just to kind of try and soften it up a little bit. But I'm not actually going to. My plan for this game is not to actually try and go across the bridge that's actually built there. You can just about make it out on that bottom map. Not to go through the town and over the bridge, because it's just so heavily defended that you get slaughtered as you're going through. And
artillery ready.
okay, so what I'm doing now, I'm ordering up one of the little jeeps just to go forward and try and see what's happening. And I've got my artillery ready, the long range artillery ready, just to pick off anything that they might spot. So there's the jeep approaching, and it's under fire. There's some fire coming out of those trees. I'll try and get the jeep out, fail. There, I can see a gun there, so I'll lay a shell on that, try and lob a shell. Looks like it missed. And now I seem to have provoked a response in that the Germans are getting another attack with their motorcycles. Civilian got caught up in the crossfire there and is dead. There, I managed to lob a shell onto that motorcycle. Just picking out a couple of targets for some more artillery to fire at. And yeah, those things, so they must be Panzerschreck or Panzerfaust. Absolutely huge range. They're firing at my snipers in the trees. But the anti-tank guns and picking them off, and then there's another rocket barrage going in. Trying to keep their heads down. Look at that. Oh, here come the first of the tanks. So normally what they do is they just storm straight in. So I think that even though there don't appear to be a great many of them, I think those dragon's teeth are actually, fulfilling their role. Now I don't know what they are, those kind of howitzers on tracks. Absolutely deadly. If they get that close, you can see it's already taken out one of my rockets, and you know, it's got in underneath the range of the artillery. So the only thing that I've got it with something. But if they get in you know, behind you, they just completely annihilate you. It's like a king tiger coming in. Two of them. Got them. They did a lot of damage. Look, there's all my armoured vehicles up there have been destroyed, and there's a gun which hasn't been destroyed, but the crew have been killed. So I'm just debussing some infantry from that transport there, and I'll get them to recrew that gun. And the rest of them I'll get to take cover in the surrounding buildings and trees. But you can see what can happen, that while you're busy dealing with that situation, there's another disaster happening further down the table. Oh, there's just a few individual Germans trying to sneak up, so picking them off quite easily. Get those guys to take cover somewhere.
Colonel.
You can see how there is a sort of element of intelligent behaviour. You don't have to control everything, because that utility vehicle is resupplying and repairing that tank without me having to tell it to do so. So it will kind of deal with anything in its immediate vicinity. Turn those anti-tank guns back around to point at the enemy. And let's see what's going to happen next. Just checking, drawing a box over bits of trees and things just to make sure there's nothing hidden behind those trees that I can make use of that I can't see. And here comes some reinforcements. So that's what I've been waiting for. When I played this game, or this scenario previously, I've had two waves of reinforcements. One comes at about the right time to initiate my own offensive, so this is a sort of indicator now that I can begin to I've successfully repelled the attack and I can begin to launch my own offensive. So what I'm going to do, I was saying about how I'm not planning to go through the town. Sometimes when I've gone south of the town, it's been appalling because a massive squadron of bombers flies over and just completely flattens the landscape with you on it. And you lose the game that way. So what I've been trying in recent games I've played is to actually go along the edge of the table to the corner opposite this one, which is a real struggle. Got another rocket launcher there, so that will come in handy. Yeah, it's a real struggle, but then having got to that far corner, I then go along the top edge of the map and try and build a pontoon bridge over the river and get onto the other side that way. But that's the furthest I've ever got, because the other side of the river is just as heavily defended as this side, and you've got so few forces with you by that point, even with the second wave of reinforcements, that they just clear you off the table and you lose the game. So now you can see how it's a real jumble down the bottom there. There's just, it's just like a huge tank park, and that requires a little bit of sorting out. So I'm just sort of seeing what I've got, inspecting my troops, and I'm going to send another jeep up and just get the crew members, just to, all the people who are riding in the jeep, just to get out in those trees there. There goes the jeep, you can just see it appearing. So I've ordered the passengers to get out at that point, so you'll see them emerge from the jeep. There they go. And they're going to go into the trees. And there's another tank that must have been, immobilised by my fire, so it was just passively waiting there, unable to do anything. I picked it off with my anti-tank guns now. So this is why you need, forward observers and things like that. Even though it was well within range and sight of my guns, I didn't have any idea it was there. So you have to get troops up, but as they go up, they are then seen by the enemy before you see the enemy, and they often get picked off. So it is really, really hard to do. But anyway, we'll start to move a few figures up, just cautiously moving up the individual figures and vehicles up now. And as I begin to spot enemy units, I can lob shells in with my long range artillery, which is that red cursor that you can see in the centre of the screen. So these are the long range howitzers, or whatever they are, I've got right at the back of my defences. Well, those guys seem to be getting into the wood unmolested. I'm just going to move a couple of them about now, spread them out so they're not all together.
Yes, Commander. Quick. Quick. Commander. Quick.
So
Artillery ready.
I haven't got a clue where that I've got a rough idea, because you can see from the trajectory of the missiles, but I haven't got a clue where that actually is. But this is what happens. So I'm lobbing in a shell or two just to try. Oh, and here's another German attack coming. So there's some smaller tanks now, Panzers or something. Defend that, deal with that next. In the meantime, I'm launching a rocket barrage into that area where the firing came from. So that just sort of carpets the area with rockets. This game is absolute carnage. You can see how deadly defence can be, and this is exactly what happens. Look at the number of tanks I've destroyed already compared to the number of tanks I've actually got, and yet I've got to somehow get those tanks through across the entire map. There's some more infantry up there to deal with those Germans. Oh no, I'm going to lose one of my guns by the look of it. Debus a few, send some more armoured vehicles. There goes my gun. Taking some hits now. One of my tanks knocked out on the top of the hill there. Well, took a beating there, but still got a reasonable size force, and as I say, there's normally, I don't know what triggers it, but there is at least one more wave of reinforcements I can expect. It never quite worked out whether they just appear after a certain amount of time, or once you've reached a certain point on the map or whatever. But it's really hard to, to beat this game without masses of reinforcements. Right, so one little brave chap there, I'm just checking I can move, and that he's alright. And now, what am I doing? Just basically seeing, trying to sort things out after that beating.
At your command. Hurry up. At your command.
Oh, right, so this must have been a bit of a slow coach kind of vehicle. So I only just joined the attack. So it's arrived too late to do anything, and it's now kaput. Just getting those out from under the trees so I can see what's there. Try and sort them out.
We are ready, sir. Moving on.
Start the engines. Unit prepared. Here we go again.
Colonel. Quick!
Another one of those monster mobile guns. There's something else firing at me. Had another tank destroyed there. I think it's in behind those trees. I'll wait for it to show itself. Yeah, there it is. Ah, Where did that come from? You just get hit from all sides, and
Artillery ready. Fire.
yeah, I'm just putting a sort of tentative rocket battery into there to see if I can clear the area of whatever it was that wiped those tanks out. Got to come up with a plan now. Can't just sit here waiting to be hammered.
Repairing.
Transport ready.
Right, so I've clicked on the lower map
Artillery ready.
with that Jeep, and it is going to race across the board, hopefully revealing as many German positions as possible before it's heroically destroyed. And I'm following it up with my trying to keep it covered. Right, so there's a gun there, guns all over the place, machine gunner. I spotted a gun here, so even though the Jeep was destroyed almost immediately, missed with that shot, so try and lob a few more in, just in the hope that something lands on target. The long range artillery is a bit slow to reload at times, so yeah, so I put another rocket battery in there, but they hadn't had time to replenish their rockets, so there's only a few rockets landed in that barrage. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I think, is yeah, I'm moving the tanks up in groups now. So I'm just going to kind of try and shuffle forward a little bit now into this area, which is relatively safe.
Yes, Commander.
And at the same time, send a few more infantry up into forward positions.
We are ready, sir. Start engine.
Ready to attack. Hurry up!
Transport ready.
Right, now this Jeep is going to offload its passengers there.
Where to, sir?
You really do have to reconnoitre, because if you just sent all these tanks up in en masse, they're just destroyed before you know what's happened. A bit like the way I dealt with the German attack. So you do have to be really cautious. Yeah, so I'm sending this Jeep up into that far corner again. Try this same policy and hope that some of that resistance has been eliminated by my rocket barrage. Right, there's another anti-tank weapon there. Try and hit that with a shell while it's still... No, it fell short.
Artillery ready.
Nothing in my
Eliminate them.
Right, that's a bit of an inviting target for the Germans, all those tanks. I'll need to spread those out a bit in a minute
Artillery ready.
before I lose my entire command to one
We are prepared.
shell burst. There we go. Just get them pointing in the right direction first.
We are ready, sir. Moving on.
Set. Ready, sir. Prepare.
I seem to be down to one rocket launcher again. So something must have happened to the other one. So I had two a little while ago.
Transport ready. Transport ready.
Ah, right, now I am limbering up. While I've still got some transports, I'm limbering up those long-range howitzers or whatever they are, and I'm going to move them slightly further forward so they've got a more effective range on the other side of the table.
Transport ready.
Set. Ready, sir.
It's an anti-aircraft gun. Come in handy if those planes reappear. They just completely destroyed my entire army in one scenario, or one game I was playing of this scenario.
Transport ready.
Right, here we go. So I can just order it to tow the gun to there and unlimber.
Transport ready. Where to, sir? Transport ready. Where to, sir? Transport ready. Where to, sir? Transport ready. Come on. Artillery ready.
If something does happen outside of my field of view, you will see kind of like red splashes and things on the lower map. Sometimes it gives you a clue, so you've got to keep your eye on that as well.
Let's go.
'Cause as I say, you can be concentrating on one thing whilst the disaster's happening somewhere else, but it seems to be a lull in the fighting at the moment. So I'll get my artillery sorted out.
Transport ready. Moving. Artillery ready.
We are prepared. Understood.
Yeah, I was lucky to get away with that. Leaving those tanks grouped together like that for so long, but I'll just spread them out now into a bit of a line and then move them forward gradually. Without the overall Herr some of them speaking to you in German. In the main though, this is a really sophisticated program. The amount of different behaviours that each troop type and vehicle display, it's quite extraordinary. As well as all these different things happening on the table. that are just almost decorative, like the fountain in the middle of the town actually flows with water and so on. Right, that field gun there, I'm thinking about towing that further forward. Yeah, here we go, so it's going to limber up. We'll tow that further forward and maybe get it out on the flank to give a little bit of defence against any aggression. We'll put it about here somewhere and then it can pick off anything that comes down the road.
Where to, sir?
We are ready, sir.
Start engine. Transport ready. Moving. Artillery ready.
Any orders?
Transport ready.
Quick! Ready to attack!
Basically, I'm just sweeping some of the rear areas now, just trying to pick up on
Go,
it,
go, go!
units that I've missed, I haven't spotted. I'm sending a few more infantry forward now. They'll probably get killed before they get there.
Colonel! Quick!
Something firing somewhere, I can hear some. Let's see if this little chap manages to get to cover before he gets picked off. The way I'm hovering over that tree line, I think I must be prepared for an attack from there. He's managed to get there.
Ready to
So I'll
attack!
get him to take cover. He'll be a useful kind of outlook on that side there. Give him a bit of warning if anything comes down the road. Oh no. Well, those guys didn't make it. Didn't even see where that came from.
Artillery ready.
Oh, and there's another.
Fire.
So I'm just doing this blind now. Just lobbing shells into where I think there might be. Oh no, it's a rocket barrage. So we luck something somewhere got hit by a rocket.
Artillery ready.
I'm going to put a shell right there where that gun was earlier because I'm not convinced that I managed to hit that. Fell way short. Now what?
Transport ready. Come on.
Right, here we go. So this Jeep's going to do the same thing. I've selected all my artillery, and I'm just going to watch as that Jeep races forward to see how far this one gets. There must be a better way of doing this, but I haven't worked out what. Right, there's a few. Ah, there's 88 up in the top right there. Top of the screen rather, just there. Let's put a shell there. No, missed. Try again. That's not going to move in a hurry. So if I can manage to get a shell right on that spot, I can be fairly confident that I've destroyed it. No, they're all around it. That might have done something. Might have maybe killed the crew, if not destroyed the gun.
Fire.
And now, rocket launcher just needs to get a little bit closer, and then that's going to lob some shells into that area. There he goes. Surely that's, yeah, that must have dealt with the 88. Right. So I'm a bit more confident now that the next volunteer is going to make it a little bit further.
Transport ready.
Yeah, you see, this is probably a mistake now. I'm sending a soft-skinned transport up there, and as you've seen, you really need those to move the guns around. You can pull the infantrymen can pull the guns, but it's very slow. So this is a bit of a waste now. I should really send something like a Greyhound or something with some armour. But anyway, this was a bad decision. I don't think it gets very far at all. No, look, half track there. And Panzerfaust managed to get the half track. So fair exchange in a way. There was fire coming out of that building, so we'll just try and hit the building with something. There, I know I've hit that building, even though you don't see the damage. There was sort of dust and smoke coming out through the window, so I know that was on target. But until I get up there, you won't actually see that it's been flattened.
Ready to attack. Hurry up.
Artillery ready.
Ready to attack.
It's taking cover in the trees. further.
Artillery ready.
Long range artillery ready. Dead.
Artillery ready.
So
Fire.
this is going to be a rocket retaliation for that. 2 rockets. Needs replenishing.
Any orders? Repairing. Oh my God, this kid's so low.
Transport ready.
Ready to attack.
Come on, come on. Commander? Come on, come on.
So I think in reality, not that this is anything like reality. Well, that movement was their destruction. Yeah, I think in reality, the tanks would go up very slowly, but I found as soon as you do that, they're just
Artillery ready.
picked off before you even know where the firing's come from. So what I'm trying to do is basically get the Germans to reveal their positions so that I can then put some kind of accurate artillery fire in on them. All the infantry dead again. See, they didn't get anywhere. Managed to see one German officer running across the open ground there.
Captain ready, sir. Repairing. Any orders? Repairing.
Right, so this is a greyhound now. So this is where I decide to go forward with something a little bit more robust, and then if it manages just to get within sight of some of those German positions, then I know where they are. It's quite fast, not as fast as the Jeep, but there, and it's spotted something there. So there was something in front of that building that he obviously is happy he dealt with.
Artillery ready.
Let's just move him a little bit further forward because there was something coming out of that wood, which has now gone quiet and is laying low.
We are prepared.
Let's get him to inch forward a little bit nearer and then
Artillery ready.
get the artillery ready to pick anything off that he spots. So he managed to kill that officer. Right, there's a machine gunner there. Got it with my long range artillery. But the Greyhound looks like it's immobilised. Now it's destroyed. And all kinds of shells coming down on the mark in the ground where it was.
Artillery ready.
So that wasn't a good trade-off,
Fire.
because I lost one of my armoured vehicles and only managed to really hit a few infantrymen. So now the rocket launcher is going to place some more rockets into that clearing there. So it did seem to be where the trajectory of some of those missiles was coming from. Just sort of speculative bombardment. And we're going to pick another Greyhound and do something similar again. Got the artillery ready. So they're being lobbed in from a distance. So I'm going to try and get it to take cover behind that house there, which, as you can see, I did flatten with my artillery. And it's gone. Picked off from all directions. So I'm just planting some shells now and some rockets in that general area.
Ready to attack!
More infantry. See how they do.
Artillery ready.
So far I'm just about halfway up one edge of the table. The second wave of reinforcements hasn't arrived. And that guy's dead. Ugh. So it's like the Germans keep re-entering that wooded area and sighting, targets for the artillery at the back. A bit like I'm doing, I suppose.
We are ready, sir. Transport ready.
Don't waste your transport, Ralph.
Transport ready.
Well, this transport has got passengers in it, so I'm going to get them to debus there. And just move that anti-aircraft vehicle up a little bit further.
Unit ready.
Ah.
Enemy in sight.
Oh, right, now
Artillery ready.
I've decided it's time to send a heavier tank in to see how that can go. But as you see, it's a lot slower moving, so it will take more hits, but because it's taking longer to get to that table corner, Hasn't got a lot of hope of success. Let's see what happens to this. I've got my artillery ready to support it. Oh. Oh, stop to fire at something. Yeah, a little chap running along there. And for the sake of trying to bump off one German infantryman, it's been destroyed. Right, just for that, I'm going to put some shells in there. So that looks like a nice convenient spot, and some rockets as well. Looks like the sort of place the Germans have put their mortars or whatever it is that's picking me off.
We are prepared.
Right, now I'm sending all the Pershings. So these are the heaviest tanks I've got. Sending them a little bit further forward.
We are ready, sir. Got it. We are ready, sir.
Looks like I'm sending everything up.
Moving on.
Just so that I can
Let's go.
provoke, you know, whoever those individuals are that are just hiding in the trees somewhere, spotting all these targets with the German artillery. Just need them to reveal themselves so I can clear that area. There must be something in there. Why can't they can see me but I can't see them?
Artillery ready.
Rockets coming in. Did that too soon. It's not.
Sap is ready, sir.
Need to replenish him with some ammunition.
We are prepared.
And now another Greyhound.
Here goes. We are prepared. Understood. Start the engines. We are prepared.
We are ready, sir.
Right now,
Start engine.
I think they're Sherman. So two Shermans going to try it now, whereas one failed. Maybe two will get through. One gone. Oh, come on.
Artillery ready.
It's definitely coming from that area, but running out of options there.
Any orders? Repairing. Sap is ready, sir.
Transport ready. Moving.
Yeah, so this isn't wise now to do this.
Artillery ready.
It's simply because it moves faster, so it's got more chance to cross the table quickly. But it's just sacrificing quite a valuable asset, and unnecessarily though, because it's put out of action for it fulfilled its mission. These Germans know what they're doing.
Artillery ready. Aim.
It looks very much like some of my tanks have been, while I've been looking at that, some of my Pershings seem to have disappeared.
Ready to attack.
There's craters where they were.
Quick.
What am I doing now? I think I'm sending some infantry up to try and take that building. If they can get into cover. See what's left. I need a different plan. This is turning into kind of World War One scenario. We're just putting cannon fodder into the mouths of the enemy guns. Got a couple of greyhounds there. They're fairly swift. No, this is the act of desperation now. Just going to get everything to attack that area where I know there are some Germans.
Artillery ready.
And pepper the ground with a few rockets again before they get there. And then I've got my long range artillery ready to reveal where these Germans are, because there goes one running across the street. See, they're taking Panzerfaustens like that, which then there's a half track. Right. Well, that's my entire force sold itself dearly just for the sake of revealing a few Germans hidden in the buildings. And you know, I've got virtually nothing now until the second wave of reinforcements come. But nothing that I can really do other than lob shells and rockets blindly into an area that I think, oh, I've still got an anti-aircraft gun there. Maybe I'll be able to use him. But in the main, got nothing except artillery.
Colonel.
One American rifleman. Go on, get up there.
Quick.
Do something.
Artillery ready. Transport ready.
So,
Transport ready.
I've got 2 transports left. So while I'm waiting for reinforcements, I'm going to move my artillery line a little bit closer to the enemy, because I think now at this stage in the scenario I'm pretty safe from a German counterattack.
Where to, sir? Artillery ready.
Chancing it a bit here. This is quite far forward.
Transport ready. Come on. Artillery ready. Transport ready. Transport ready. Where to, sir? Artillery ready. Transport ready. Come on. Artillery ready. Artillery ready. Yes, yes. Transport ready. Transport ready.
See, if I hadn't sacrificed all my transports, this would be a lot easier. But I'm having to use 2.
Where to, sir?
But it's killing time till that second wave of reinforcements
Artillery ready.
arrive, and hopefully they can
Artillery ready.
cross the road, clear out the rest of those fields up there.
Artillery ready. Transport ready. Come on. Artillery ready. Transport ready. Transport ready. Where to, sir? Artillery ready. Transport ready. Where to, sir? Artillery ready.
Oh, there was still some
Transport ready.
infantry in that transport that I hadn't realised, so I just got those to debus.
Ready to attack.
Now, that transport is getting perilously close to where there might
Ready
be
to attack.
Germans. Yeah, look,
Let's go.
got away with that, but because sometimes they take the most convenient or the quickest route to where I've sent them. That infantryman wasn't so lucky.
Artillery ready.
So I've got to make sure that I don't send any transport that close to those buildings, because there's obviously some enemy fire coming out of them.
Transport ready.
So I'll send this one over to that edge before I send him on to the point where I want him to unlimber the gun. Still no sign of the next wave of reinforcements.
Where to, sir? Artillery ready. Transport ready. Moving. Artillery ready. Transport ready. Transport ready.
Looking down at down here, I've obviously still got a few things that I hadn't noticed, including another Jeep.
Quick.
So I'm sort of scraping the bottom of the barrel now, but might as well just look around the map and see what I have got left. It might be useful.
Transport ready. Where to, sir? Transport ready.
Now I'm moving up my long range artillery. Just killing time really.
Where to, sir?
I need some more tanks.
Where to, sir? Transport ready. Moving. Artillery ready. Transport ready.
Sap is ready, sir. Go, go, go.
Oh no, look at that. Germans just
Artillery ready.
filtered a little bit forward, and that's the end of my anti-tank guns there.
Transport ready.
At least well, at least they got they're all destroyed, but at least they got a few shots in. Didn't see them firing, so I've lost another supply vehicle. Oh no, was that a supply vehicle?
Artillery ready.
Anyway, out of frustration, I'm sending that Jeep forward, And there is some kind of field gun. Still there, right in the middle of that area. And all I can do now is lob a few shells at it. And what on earth can I do now without reinforcements?
Transport ready. Where to, sir?
So really that might have been prevented had I had some infantry a little bit further forward, who then would have spotted the German spotters maybe, but chances are they would have just been wiped out by the artillery before.
Artillery ready. Transport ready.
Ready to attack. Quick.
Yes.
Ah, right, what have we got there? Found something hiding in the trees. Single little infantryman, submachine gunner. Well, get into the battle, mate. Put him up here somewhere.
Go, go, go.
One of these slackers. Everyone to do their duty.
Transport ready. Where to, sir? Transport ready. Moving. Artillery ready.
I'm just hovering the mouse around because it really looks like there's something else there that I haven't found. Just trying to check all the areas, see. Desperate for something. Yeah, look. Sure that. There you go. A greyhound hiding behind the buildings and trees all this time.
Understood.
So one more roll of the dice that means now, because he can go forward, and hopefully I manage to destroy that field gun. So I just send him into that wooded area now with some artillery support, and see if he can clear. No, I'm going to take a quick break, formulate a plan. Well, I'm out of options. The only thing I can do, and normally by this stage in all the other games I played of this scenario, I've had a load more tanks and so on arrive in the corner.
Hurry up!
So all I'm going to do is just same as what I've been doing already. Maybe send the infantry or that greyhound up into the far corner. See if I can pick off any remaining resistance with my artillery and carry on hoping for some reinforcements to arrive. But if you think this is difficult, believe me, trying to go through the town in the centre of the table is a disaster. It's much more fiercely defended than the countryside, and then you get to the other side and the Germans send half the Luftwaffe over and they just bomb you to bits, which is brilliant graphics, great fun to watch, but impossible to survive the game.
Quick. Ready to attack. Let's go.
Right, so I managed to cobble together a load more infantry from various
Let's go.
wooded areas and jeeps and so on. So I have got quite a lot of infantry. Get them a bit further forward. Oh look, they've spotted already. He's dead. Got that with the artillery. A little anti-tank gun or something. Bang, he's dead. There's a half track there. And a couple of, looks like machine gunners. At last. Plans beginning to come together. Right, that's that little pocket of resistance cleared up.
Yes, Commander.
Ah.
Quick!
But the infantry, they're still, if they stay there too long, they just get, there's something somewhere.
Hurry up!
It's got to be something like a mortar. Just lobbing shells.
Let's go.
Gotta find it. Something moving there. I can't see. I saw something movement behind the trees. Oh,
Artillery ready. Fire.
right. How many rockets you got left in that? Oh, quite a few. Take that hidden German Schweinhund.
Artillery ready.
Just for good luck, I'll put some into that area where the church is, in case anyone's hiding up in the steeple.
Hurry up!
Artillery ready. Artillery ready.
Any orders? Repairing.
Yes, sir. Quick! Yes!
Oh. Don't even get a chance to give them an order. He got hit by 4 shells there. One chap. Oh look, little German running across. Get him, get him. Ah. You see, there's that chap, the German that ran into that wood. I'm sure. Yeah, I think I've got him. I think my greyhounds killed him. But that was the whole reason that he came within sight of that gun, and then the Germans immediately dropped some shells on it and destroyed it. So what am I down to now? 2 long-range guns, 1 field gun, rocket launcher, a transport, a supply vehicle, and that greyhound if it can still move. Where are my reinforcements?
Sap is ready, sir. Preparing.
Artillery ready. Artillery ready.
Ready to attack.
Ich voll eine reingesucht, aber
Quick. Colonel.
Go, go, go!
See, I'm still worried that there's a little German spotter in those trees there. Try and flush out that area with the infantry
Commander?
and get across this open ground.
Come on, come on!
Artillery ready.
The Americans need the equivalent, of what the Germans have got. The Germans have got these Panzerfaust and need some bazookas or grenade launchers or something like that. Ugh. It's being massacred. Oh well. What does that leave me with?
Colonel.
Right, go on, get up there.
Quick.
Artillery ready.
Oh, I didn't get 2 inches.
Ready to attack. Quick.
Artillery ready. Aim. Artillery ready.
So this is how this game goes. That I'm thinking, oh, I could have done that better. I didn't need to have sacrificed that for that result, and so on. And you go back and start the game again and play it all over again. But never seem to find the perfect strategy to beat this game. But I must say, I'm a bit disappointed now that those I've always, every single game I played of this, I've always had a second wave of reinforcements, and I can't work out why they haven't appeared. I'm still holding out, hoping that they will. Now, out of desperation, I have no infantry left as far as I can see, so the Greyhound is just going to try and make it into that far corner. Let's see what's left. Something lobbing shells at it. Right, there's another 88 or something. Got ya. A field gun there. It's got behind it. Right, it's picked off something there. Revenge. Last. And look at that, he's right, I'm not sure whether that was my long range artillery or one of the shells from the Greyhound. But he's in the corner now and he's not being attacked. If only I had something to back him up. There's just nothing at all left. So that single solitary Greyhound that was hiding behind the building, only surviving bit of armour that I've got, did manage to make it through. Not to the end of the game. That shell there was friendly, I think. That was a delayed shot on the spot where that artillery piece was. So now I may as well hope for reinforcements, and still something hostile there, threatening my must be just something hiding in a tree somewhere. If I can get the utility vehicle. Right. Oh no.
We are prepared. Here we go again.
There is something in that corner. There's another utility vehicle destroyed. But I was going to say, if I can get a utility vehicle along this edge that the Greyhound is going along now and get it to the river, at least I can start to build. You see, there's no opposition in this area as long as I keep tight to the table edge. I can get all the way to the river, and then I want to build a pontoon bridge across there. And I could do it if that single. Oh no, I've got two utility vehicles.
Transport ready. Artillery ready.
What to send first?
Any orders? Go, go, go.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to risk
Go.
this vehicle following the Greyhound.
Hurry up.
Comes under fire there. So it must be something like something in the church that's got a view down the road.
Go, go, go.
Once it gets through to here,
Go.
looks relatively safe. Get a bridge ready for when my reinforcements come.
Go, go, go. Hurry up.
Right, so here we go. This is another demonstration of the nice graphics. Pontoon bridge.
Yeah.
There, please. Just have to hope there's nothing on the opposite side of the river. It's gonna pick them off. Having revived my laptop and playing these old PC games that used Windows XP, I was thinking this game I never used to really play a lot back in the late 90s and that, mid to late 90s. It's one of my less favoured games, but I'm really enjoying it now. Some of my old games don't seem to want to run anymore, which is one of the reasons I thought I'd give this a try and see if it worked, and it does. But I think it's a really absorbing game. It's not easy by any means, as you see, and it gives you a kind of the odd kind of brief breather where nothing's happening. So I don't like games where you're constantly having to battle things through. I couldn't, that would wear me out after about half an hour's play. But just watching things like this gives you a chance to get your breath back, and it also, you know, your mind's kind of working on solutions to the various problems. I mean, the only solution I can't actually reach myself is the whereabouts of my reinforcements. The computer just seems to decide when they're going to appear.
We are prepared.
So what I'm going to do now, go across the river. Maybe that will trigger reinforcements, I don't know. I've reached a certain stage in the game, and I'm going to kind of start to build some defences so that I've got a defendable bridgehead on the other side of the river. So get this utility vehicle working at putting down hedgehogs and dragon's teeth and things like that. See how much of that they can do before. I mean, I have got to this point in other games, and the Germans just send a swarm of infantry this way, and they're also well equipped with, you know, sort of weapons that can destroy tanks and so on. They just that was the end of one game. I got to this point and no further. And that was with a lot more forces than I have at my disposal at the moment.
Yeah.
So I've got a line of headshot. Oh, yep, just having a quick look down. So there's my objective, but it's not as easy as it looks. That whole area is swarming with guns and infantry, so I can't just walk in. Another solution would be to bring the rest of my artillery round and park it in the bridgehead there, and then just start to soften up the perimeter of that area, so that you know, the barbed wire and so on has been cleared a little bit, so that if I do get any reinforcements, they'll be able to get through a little bit more easily. So I think that's what I'm going to do. What shall I start with?
Transport ready.
Well, I'm picking up the anti-tank gun. Drive that round first of all, I think.
Transport ready. Moving.
So there is some enemy fire, especially as I cross the road. Just got to get to that area as quickly as possible. I hope that nothing hits me.
Artillery ready.
Get my artillery ready to... Oh. It's definitely just in that spot there. Something has a view.
Transport ready. Moving. Come on. Come on.
Right, we'll put it down
Where to, sir?
somewhere there
Any orders?
and go back for something else.
Yeah.
Transport ready. Moving. Artillery ready.
Might be able to defend the utility truck a little bit while they put down some more dragon's teeth.
At your command. Yeah.
make sure he's got some ammunition. Yeah, looks ready. So sending the truck back for something else now.
Moving. Artillery ready. Transport ready. Moving. Come on. Artillery ready. Transport ready. Moving. Come on.
Okay, got it across the danger zone there. Nothing fired on me that time. Oh, yes, it did. Yeah. So there's still a threat there. Ah, look. Yeah, there's a little man there. I'll lob a shell in there.
Transport ready. Moving. Moving. Moving.
Look at that, unbelievable. While I've been on the other side of the table, something has walked up and blown my anti-tank gun up and killed the crew.
Transport ready. Where to,
So I have
sir?
no idea what happened there. Nothing firing on the utility truck, so maybe the Greyhound machine gun, whoever
Artillery ready.
attacked. But that's another vehicle destroyed. So I'm leaving the long range gun on that side of the river,
Artillery ready.
where it might be a bit safer.
Fire.
Lobbing a few rockets into that area where I saw movement, just in the hope that I'll hit something and get the truck
Transport ready.
back across the road to bring the other howitzer around.
Come on. Artillery ready.
Yeah, there's movement there. Yeah, that was definitely it. Something like a Panzerschreck.
Artillery ready.
And a machine gunner there. German rifleman.
Transport ready.
And my truck's not moving. So that machine gunner has disabled it, and while it's stationary, it's been knocked out. So now I've got no way, other than dragging it by hand, of getting that other long range gun around, and that won't survive. So I will try and move my rocket launcher around. And it'll have no defence really if it does get attacked in the same way, but I will try to keep it covered with the long range artillery from either side. So if I spot anything,
Go, go, go.
as I go around, I will try and clobber it with artillery. It's the only protection I can give it.
Go, go, go. Artillery ready.
Right, I might as well start using that artillery. There we go, firing into the compound. Because these are, yeah, look, that's quite effective because they're sort of chemical containers or something, gasoline maybe. So one blows up and it knocks out the whole line of them. So I might as well be doing a little bit of damage. I honestly don't know now how to prompt the second wave of reinforcements. You know, as I say, unless it's just a matter of time and they appear after an hour or half an hour or something. Unfortunately, the rocket launcher will need to move a little bit closer. It can fire there, yeah, so just lob some rockets in there. There's bound to be Germans in those trees.
Aim.
Let's keep them up. At your
And
go, go, go.
I'm going to leave that single gun there to its own devices now. Take its supply vehicle round where it can be more use by resupplying the rocket launcher.
Hurry up. Go, go, go.
Nothing firing on it, so maybe did manage to kill off those last couple of Germans there.
Hurry up.
Preparing.
And one more single solitary figure there. So he might as well risk it as well.
Hurry up!
Artillery ready.
Keep him covered with my artillery. Definitely seems a lot quieter in that area now. But I'm a bit stymied in what I can do with this game now. One infantryman and a greyhound on their own aren't going to make it to the officers to capture them, I don't think. But it's fun just watching these little chaps do their thing.
Ready to attack. Go, go,
Right,
go.
let's go there.
Artillery ready.
Where's he gone? There he is.
Artillery ready.
Oh. He's fighting with someone. Right, so as things stand now, everything that can move is in this area of the pontoon bridge, and it's not enough to win the game. So I can either just sit it out and wait for reinforcements, which may never come, because I can't recall a game I've played this scenario where it's taken this long for them to appear on the table. I can do a bit of this, sort of pepper the area with a bit of an artillery barrage to kill a bit of time.
Unit prepared. Here goes.
Yes. Hurry up.
I can get this single infantryman now, I suppose. I can take a risk with him, just move him up and see what he can see. If he can actually spot some gun positions or something, then at least I can lay down a bit more accurate gunfire on it.
Hurry up.
Artillery ready.
Don't hold out much hope for this guy. It's just going to be a similar situation to what happened on the other corner. He just gets mown down as he's crossing an open area. Nothing for it. Let's keep going from one piece of cover to another. See what he turns up.
Ready to attack.
Take cover. A gun. Right, a target. Oh, there we are. Two, whatever they are. The little infantryman's been killed, but at least I know now I can lob some shells into this open area here, and it may hit something. Not with that kind of aim, it won't.
At your command. Repairing. Any orders? Repairing.
Artillery ready. Fire. Artillery ready.
I know exactly where those two guns are. It's just a matter of landing a shell in the right spot. Just want to see a shell burst somewhere in that open area there. No, another miss. Of course, there's only one of the two guns in range of that spot. That wasn't bad. That might have killed the crew.
Fire.
Try and get it a bit closer. Yeah, of course, there's only one gun in range of that spot. It's taking a little while to reload and fire each time. Rocket fire's totally inaccurate.
Artillery ready.
I'm going to go back to trying to dispose of some of these containers. Oh, that was a good one.
Artillery ready.
And that was a subsequent explosion, sort of chain effect of one going off. as well try and get, they look like a nice juicy target. Yes. Right.
Artillery ready.
Well, this is just like idle shooting really now. It's not getting me anywhere in terms of completing the game.
Artillery ready. Artillery ready.
At your command, preparing.
Artillery ready.
At your command, preparing.
Artillery ready.
Can't really do a lot with the rocket launcher now because if I kill the officers with badly aimed shots, then that's the game lost. Just try and get rid of some more of these defences. I'm at the point now of thinking it's the end of the game. All I got left is that greyhound, so might as well go on a suicide mission. And once this is dead, then I'll call it a defeat. So I can't see my reinforcements arriving now. I don't know where they got to, but I've waited long enough. So here we go. Suicide run into the compound to try and reach the point where the officers are. Here come all the shells. Come on. Oh right, it knocked something out. Look at that. Oh god. Oh.
Understood.
It might actually get there, you know. It got there, and I've won. With one last throw of the dice. I actually won the game by capturing the officers. Mission accomplished. And look at the number of units that I destroyed in comparison to what I lost. They're just massively outnumbered. But I won it, I did it. So thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Bye everyone.